the number one thing I hear from a lot of people that hit me up is, I'm doing everything right. I'm still not making sales. You know, I bought all the courses. I searched up all the YouTube videos, and I'm still not making sales. First of all, I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. So if you're saying that, shut the fuck up, because you're not doing everything right. You're not, hands down. Because if you're doing everything right, you would be making sales. So there's obviously something you're not doing that is holding you back. And the thing is, like, I know what it is. I know what's holding you back from, you know, reaching 4 figures a month, 5 figures, 6 figures, 7 figures a month in your e-commerce business. I know what it is. And the reality is, you don't know what it is, and nobody will ever tell you this. It's not in any, you won't find this in any YouTube videos. No courses have it. There's nothing out there that teaches you this. You know, like this is what the gurus, you know, they won't teach you this. And you know, that one thing really comes down to marketing. And I'm not just talking about normal marketing. You guys might have bought a course or watched these YouTube videos, and people say that they think they know marketing because they know how to set up an ad. That's not how you run an e-commerce business, and that's not how you make money. The biggest thing you need to know is you have to know psychology. You know, how people's brains are wired to think, why they make decisions to purchase a product, and you got to know it down to a T. If you want to make big bucks, if you want to be successful at anything in life, anything, whether it's people, relationships, you know, business, you know, school, whatever it is, especially when it comes to making money, you need to know psychology, because that's what creates good marketing. And, you know, just too many people, and I'm here with my boy Rick, by the way, so we're just going to kind of go on a little conversation about this. But too many people, they think just because they bought this course and they post an ad. First of all, I'll see if I can put in an edit right here, but I'm tired of seeing these e-commerce Shopify dropshipping ads. You know, hurry, only 5 left. Go get your free, you know, notebook, whatever it is, whatever they're selling. You know,
that's bad.
It's horrible.
I'll tell you why, real quick. I don't want to cut you off, but like, the reality is, when you see an ad like that, and just be 100% honest, you don't have to like try to BS like and say it works for me. No, it doesn't. The reality is, when you see ads like that, you know that you're being sold. And I'm going to tell you this tip right here. And if you're watching, you should probably write it down. It's, everybody wants to buy, but nobody wants to be sold. That's something that I live by. And the reality is, when I'm connecting with people, or even when I'm meeting people, or I'm closing people, I keep that in mind, because nobody wants to feel that. And there's so many sharks out there. And the reality is, when you're like that, you feel the vibration. And the thing is, what I'm starting to realize working online is there's other ways that you can see when somebody's being a shark. And that's one of them right there.
Yeah, so, like, the thing is, dude, that might work a little bit. It might work for a few bucks. It might make a few sales. But it's never going to work long term. And it's never going to be the foundation of your business, the foundation of your income. But most people, they think that's what they got to do because, hey, that's what the training said. That's what the course said. This is, like I said, this is something the gurus won't tell you. You won't be able to find this information anywhere. Okay? This comes with real experience and results. And, you know, you have to really know. You have to do years of experience. You have to learn psychology. You have to, you know, go through the trials and tribulations to really learning the game, because the internet is a lot different than real life. So I'm telling you that right now. And like you said, people don't want to feel sold. The reality, so every customer has a place they want to be and have a place where they're at. They're at point A, they need to get to point Z. You need to help them get to point Z, as close to point Z as possible, before you try to sell them on something. If they're at point A right now and you post a shitty ad like the one I just talked about, maybe we'll put some little examples in this edit. If you post a shitty ad like that, you're never going to get them to point Z. Never.
You never will. You never will. So I think a big part of it is, I come from a sales background. I have more than 7 years in sales. I put on my bio on Instagram, been closing deals. Josh said big deals since 2009. But the reality is, one of the things that I know is that everybody wants to close, get the money, get the deal, but nobody wants to know how to open. That's the first step, is opening people up. And there's a way to do that online, and I'm going to let Josh go ahead and tell you how to do that.
Well, the number one thing, first of all, is you have to ask yourself, if you're selling products online with whatever you're selling, would you buy it if you saw that exact ad? Would you freaking buy it? Because I'll tell you right now, first of all, it's very hard for me to buy something online. Very hard. It's just annoying for me to go find my credit card, debit card, and pull it out and put my numbers in online. And if I see something and it doesn't make me want to pull my card out, I know it sucks. It freaking sucks. if I see, there's been cases where I saw stuff, I'm like, damn, like that's good, and I buy it on the spot, boom, like that, 150, 200, 500 bucks, $1,000 on the spot. Within a few minutes of seeing the ad, I'm not even thinking about it. I just do it. But why? Because it's freaking good. And you know what happens when I see that? I duplicate it.
I know.
Because I know I'm a smart dude, and if I will buy it, then it's good marketing.
Yeah, and for me, it's like one of the things is I love to be sold because the reality is not many people can sell me. And online as well, not many people can sell me. So if I'm like, wow, that really like knocked me out the park, you best believe I'm going to buy. So one kind of tip I want to give you as well is I know there's a lot of people with e-commerce stores and things like that. One of the things that I've learned in life, and it might be a little bit different. This is more kind of, I don't know, maybe how the universe works or how the mind works, but buy stuff. I think so many people are scared to be like really sold themselves, right? Mm-hmm. That we're the people who are out there trying to sell people, but at the end of the day, you never want to buy anything from anybody else. So for me, I found that when I was able to buy from other people, guess what happened, Josh? I started looking for good people to buy from, and that's where I kind of gained some tricks and stuff like that. Because I learned. I was like, look, man, I want to be sold. I don't really want to buy from this person.
And you would never buy something that sucks.
Exactly.
That looks like it sucks.
Exactly. So, like, for example, one of the times I was just in San Diego, and I was at the promenade or the mall, whatever it's called, and I was with the team, my old ADT squad, and I was walking through, and this Israeli girl, she grabs me, right? And it was for those little steaming irons. You ever seen those?
Oh, yeah.
And it was so crazy because as soon as she grabbed me, she like walked me over. Like she didn't say like, hey, do you want to? She walked me over, and like the whole thing, bro. I was there for like 15 minutes. I didn't even realize it. And by the end of it, I bought it.
Yeah.
You want to know why? Because she was good.
What she did was she got you closer from point A
to point
Z. So to do that, there's a reciprocity rule, and there's two ways you can do it. One, so if you want to be able to sell things online, one good way is to offer something free. People love to get things free. So if you're giving out free content, free whatever the hell you're giving out free, people take that. This is natural. This is subconscious. When you give somebody something for free, they think in their subconscious mind like, hey, I want to return the favor. So if that's done buying a product from you, they're returning the favor subconsciously. But not only that, but how are you getting them there? So sometimes, in e-commerce, you can't obviously send stuff to people always for free. Sometimes there's that free plus shipping ad that works pretty well. If it's not a very saturated market, if you learn how to market it right, you can get that done. But the thing is, your brand, whatever you're selling, needs to be so good. The value that you're providing, the way you make it seem, needs to be so freaking valuable that you're getting the person closer to wanting to buy. So, I'm trying to think of an example when it comes to like e-commerce and drop shipping, but like you said, the lady, she ran you through the whole process, and next thing you know, you bought it. That's kind of like internet marketing. Internet marketing, they have the funnels.
Yes.
There's an introduction video that, gets the person excited.
Gets their attention.
Grabs their attention.
You have to grab their
then
attention.
Then it takes them to the sales video that gives them all the information. And here's what the sales videos need. And I'm not going to relate it completely to internet marketing, but I'll give it to you an e-commerce standpoint. So what happens is when you have a product, when you're selling something online, with whatever it is, the way you got to do it is you need to create. So everybody needs stuff. Everybody needs stuff.
Yeah.
But not everybody knows they need stuff. It's your job as an e-commerce salesman, whether you're drop shipping or you're doing internet marketing, it's your job to let them know they need to buy your product. So how do you do that? You need to create the demand for it. You need to create the awareness. So this is when it comes down to emotion. A lot of people they like to buy things on logic, so it needs to make sense. I'll go into that later. But the first thing is that you buy things on emotion. So to buy things on emotion, you need to create that demand. So with whatever you're selling, let me give you an example. Fidget spinners. Those things blew up. It was a trend. It was very, very popular. Everybody was selling them. A lot of people made a lot of money off them. But what was the demand they were creating? Hey, if you have ADHD, if you're antsy, if you use one of these. Most people, they feel like they're antsy, but here's the thing. Not everybody knows that they're antsy. They created the demand in some people. Yeah. Hey, if you fidget around a lot, people say you talk a lot, people say you can't focus, if you forget things a lot. Some people are like, hey, dude, I forgot my phone in the other room the other day. Yeah. My mom was saying I need to keep track of my stuff better. I left my keys somewhere the other day. And they think like, oh crap, I'm ADHD. How can I fix this? Well, the fidget spinner fixes that. And that's because the fidget spinner's marketing was appealing to that. So you have to understand when you're running an e-commerce store, you need to know how the human brain works and why your product works for that human. So just by posting a product, if I'm posting, so I got this hat right here. If I'm posting, $10 hats, for sale, why would somebody want to buy this hat? What makes this hat special? What makes it appeal to somebody on an emotional level? So you have to realize when you're marketing a product, like, hey, I want, with whatever it is, it depends. Every product varies, but you need to create that demand and whatever it is. If you guys are just selling, instead of creating a demand so people want to buy it from you, you're not selling it. They want to buy it. You don't have to sell it. They just do it. It's, like I said, it's subconscious. It just kind of happens. Then you have to become really, really creative with your marketing. And then, like I said, back on a logical standpoint, you want to explain why they need it. So here's what I mean by this. A good example. What was that store? Somebody tell me that store, the one that blew up viral, red bathing suit. Sunny Co.
Oh, yeah.
Sunny Co, right? Sunny Co clothing. Check this out. There, if you guys are not familiar with Sunny Co clothing, we'll add that in here. But they had a bathing suit picture that went viral, right? And it went viral because it said all you have to do is repost this photo, and you'll get a free bathing suit shipped to you. You get the discount code for a free bathing suit. You'll just have to pay shipping. But that's not what created the sales. What created the sales was, one, obviously the photo. I explained in a video I made a long time ago, but the photo appealed to everybody on a psychological level where it was very, very appealing. But the biggest thing was that they were donating like a certain percentage of the proceeds to some charity. I can't recall it, but they were donating it to a charity. But they didn't just say like, hey, 10% of proceeds are going to charity.
No.
They gave the details of the charity, and they gave a reason why they're donating it. Like, hey, if you went to their website, it had the whole reasoning behind it. So now people are like, hey, and they're like celebrating. So they're celebrating something. It might have been a launch. I'm not sure. But let's just say if they were there or not. But let's just say they're celebrating a brand new launch. Okay. They just got started with their brand new store. If you're just starting a dropshipping store, right? And you want to use the free plus shipping method. So most people, if I saw something that said, free shipping or free product, just pay shipping, the first thing that goes off in my mind is this is not real.
Yeah.
Or the cost of the product is so low that they're profiting off me when it comes to shipping, right?
Yeah.
But I'll give you an example. I bought books online before because it said free book, just pay shipping.
Oh,
but you know what it said you know what else it said on the page that's selling the book? Brand new book, just released. Investor invested this much money to help spread the brand awareness, to help get the launch out, to help get this information out, or because I have a program that I'm releasing soon and I want you guys to follow me on social media. So I was like, hey, that makes sense why they would give out a free book. He wants to build his brand. That makes sense why he'd give out a free book. Investors want him to have a hard launch so it can eventually become a best-selling book. Hey, that would make sense why he sell his book. He'd get more testimonials to sell more books in the future.
Exactly.
It made sense. So I was like, I'll buy it.
Yeah.
And in my mind, at the time, that's why I bought it. Now I realize, well, hey, a book only costs $1 to make and $1 to ship. You know what I mean? And they're still profiting like $9 off me. Or hey, maybe they have an upsell in the back end, whatever it is. But I realized the reasoning behind it at the time, which made me want to buy it because I understood why. So when you want somebody to buy your product, they need to understand why you're selling it, why it's relevant to them, why they should buy it. Because if you're just purely selling and you're not giving the reason why, they're not going to buy it. There's a difference between selling and there's a difference between marketing, creating demand and then just selling things. And to revert back what I was talking about earlier, real quick, people want to get from point A to point Z. Point A was where they're currently at. Point Z is the product you're selling, where it's going to take them. So the reality is people want to avoid pain more than they want to feel pleasure. So your marketing should, make them feel like, I know it might sound like messed up, but this is the truth. This is how marketing psychology works. Your product should, and the way you market it should make them feel some sort of pain, and your product should provide the pleasure because they want to avoid that pain. So if your product can get them away from that pain that they might have felt, then they're going to want to buy it. So good example, hey, the new iPhone's coming out. My iPhone right now crashes a lot, right? It has a lot of issues. It goes really slow, and it pisses me off. So the new iPhone, hell yeah, I want to get it because this is painful. Having this broken, crappy, slow iPhone is a painful feeling. But I'm like, hey, the iPhone X or iPhone 10, whatever you want to call it, is going to solve all of those problems. Not only that, but there's something called novelty. So what does that mean? It means, people love when something is new, when a product is brand new. So when a product is new, and anything is new in general, it releases more dopamine in somebody's brain to want to buy the product. So, for example, a brand new car comes out, brand new model. People who have the old model, like, yo, I need to upgrade, because it makes them feel a lot better. I mean, that's just kind of like a no-brainer, but I feel like most people don't really think about that. The brand new iPhone comes out. Everybody wants it. Apple mastered this. They release a product every year that's barely better than the last product, and everybody wants to buy it. Every single person wants to buy it because it's the new, improved technology. It's brand new. Nobody has it. Has that exclusivity with it, and especially when you're releasing it at a limited amount, called scarcity. So this is why you'll see a lot of marketers, or Shopify stores, they'll say there's only a certain amount of products left, right? But here again, here's where most people screw up. They'd be like, hey, Josh, I did the scarcity. I added, all the plugins. I added all of that to create scarcity. I'm still not making sales. Why? You're not saying why there's a scarcity. Because the reality is, marketing's been so played out that everybody tries to create scarcity without actually giving the reason why they're doing it, and it's not believable. So that goes back to what I was talking about earlier. You need to tell people why. So why is there a scarcity? Hey, this company only made 50 of these hats. There's only 50 left. That makes more sense than 50 left. Get your last hat now before they run out. People want to know why there's a more exclusive rate. Or like, hey, what we do with some of the stuff that we sell online is we'll only work with a certain amount of people so we can guarantee people's results. So we only work with a certain amount of people so that we can give hands-on time to the actual people. And for us, the biggest thing too is you want to be real, you want to be authentic, you want to be genuine, and we actually only work with that many people. And so many people, say, hey, this many spots, or hey, this many left of the product, and they're not authentic with it. They don't give you the reason why, and it becomes very cliche. People don't want to buy it. So when you're not tapping into somebody's brain, you're not gonna get the people who actually need your product. You'll get the retards, you'll get the dummies who buy things off hype, who buy things off emotions, but you want people who actually are gonna be touched and affected in a valuable, positive way off of your product. That's the only way you're gonna reach long-term success, because anybody can make a quick buck online. It's not about making a quick buck. It's about reaching long-term success, long-term wealth, and creating a very valuable store. So you need to create valuable customers, and I guess that leads me to the next point. Now, when you get real customers with real results, now you have testimonials. So use those testimonials to, help you land more sales. This goes into social proof. Hey, if these guys got results, I can get results. If these guys got the product, I should get the product. This is when it comes into drop shipping. This is where you have the plugins. So-and-so just bought a product, from, United States. So-and-so just bought a product 1 hour ago. You show the social proof. Because, so one of the social proof bias when it comes to psychology, when people don't know what to do, they look around at what other people are doing. So a good example of that, let's say there's a fight in public, right? And if two people are just fighting, most people will just keep walking past it. They're just gonna keep walking. They look at it, keep walking, right? But then, and maybe they might film it, but they're not gonna say anything. But one guy steps up, hey, stop, tries to break it up, right? And the fight keeps on going, but he's like yelling stop, he's trying to break it up. The next thing you know, everybody's trying to hop in and trying to help him out. Everybody's trying to stop the fight. Everybody wants to be an advocate. Everybody's calling the cops because it's social proof. People are not sure what to do. They see this happening, they're like, I don't know. It's just, that's how the human brain works. Most people don't take action until they see other people take action because they haven't seen it done before. Maybe they're unconfident. Maybe they're just unsure. But when they see that social proof, now it makes sense. So when you have real results, you create real value. You tell your customers why. You have a real purpose, behind why you're donating proceeds. And then you see customers getting results. You should reach out to them. Reach out to your customers. Send them an email. Hey, send me a picture of you wearing the product. Send me a picture of you using the product for 15% off your next discount. Now you're creating an incentive, or a 15% off your next order. Now you're creating an incentive for them, one, to come back and order, and two, for them to want to send you, their testimonial or them using the product. And now you use that product, and you post on social media, whatever platform you're advertising on, so-and-so got their product, loves their product, so-and-so, you know, just ordered their product a few months ago, looks like they're doing this, looks like they're doing that. You give the reason, maybe ask them why they bought the product, you know. Maybe you're selling, I don't know, I seen recently, people were selling those black mask stuff. So, hey, so-and-so had very bad facial problems and acne, yada, yada, started using our product. Within 6 weeks, they got tremendous results. Here's a picture of the before and after. Boom. That right there, results, testimonials, is going to drive you way more sales than, hey, 5 black masks left, go order right now, click the link in my bio. That shit does not work. It did work in the beginning. The trends change. People get smarter, and the markets get a lot more, what's the word I want to use? A lot more targeted, and people, it gets a lot more competitive. That's what I like to say. It gets a lot more competitive. So how are you going to stand out from people who been in the game, people who are really making money, and everybody else is trying to do the same thing as you? And so what it kind of leads me to go is the next thing you need to do is you need to tell a story behind your brand. Every brand needs a story. Anybody can sell, you know, I can be like orangepillows.com. That's cool. But if I had, you know, maybe they call it tangerinepillows.com, and it had a story behind the brand, why it's called Tangerine Pillows. Maybe this pillow material was made in a place next to a tangerine farm. I don't know. Whatever it is. But you need to tell people the purpose, your brand story. Because, so here's what I read before. The best marketers are people who can tell the best stories, because people can relate to stories a lot more than they can relate to numbers, a lot more than they can relate to statistics. People don't, that goes through one person's ear and out the other. They don't remember that. Nobody remembers all the analytical numbers that you give them. People remember the story behind it. So if you guys can tell a story behind your brand, why it's relevant, you're going to end up getting a lot more sales. So this is the difference between a very good brand, you know, maybe it's a phone case company that has a purpose, that has a brand story, that has a theme, compared to just a random company that just sells a bunch of random ass, you know, phone cases and accessories, you know. So once you get that brand story down, stick to it, make it sound, I guess you could say, believable or probable, whatever you want to, however you want to market it. But just know that if you wouldn't buy your own product, nobody's gonna buy it. Nobody's gonna buy it, and you're not ever gonna be able to get to the next level. And like I said before, these are things you can't learn just by going through a course. These are things you can't learn by following a step-by-step, you know, one-on-one, dropshipping, whatever it is. You know, and if you've been following me for a while, we're launching X-Commerce. We're going to teach all this inside of X-Commerce. X-Commerce is a software and educational dropshipping platform where you can get in, and it's gonna be pretty much the world's best e-commerce hub. Anything e-commerce related, internet marketing related. So if you haven't joined the Facebook group, I'll put the link in the description of this video. But these are the things that we're going to teach you, because these are the things that actually will help you, not just in dropshipping, not just in e-commerce, but for the rest of your life when it comes to building a business. The next thing is simplify your solution. So simplify your marketing. Break it down to the very, you know, minimal T. I think, Ricky, you could probably talk about this on sales. We'll give you guys a sales example, but this can go for dropshipping, this can go for e-commerce. But like, for example, when you're breaking down the price for somebody, whether it's like yearly or monthly, breaking down to the penny. Why is like, it's very important for somebody's product to be the simple solution for somebody. It can't be complicated.
Well, at the end of the day, when we're talking about price should never be the problem whatsoever. It doesn't matter if you're overpriced, underpriced, exact price. The price is the price. And for me, what it is I never put focus on the price. So when it comes down to actually delivering the price, my job is to build so much value, but value connected to what they need. And then they need it, and you make it apparent, so then they want it. And then your job is, right, at the end, to make sure that you reconnect. So you re-hit all the points that you connected, so you can turn that need for them into like they must have it at that moment. Once you do that, you can deliver the price very steadily. And it's only $54.99. It's only $500 bucks. It's only $3,000 bucks. Like, it's no big deal. Because guess what? You have to really believe that money's no big deal for you too. And then when you're processing your transactions, you're going to have that clean energy. So
yeah, so you want to break it down. You want to break it down to the smallest numbers possible. So if you're doing a free plus shipping, this product is 100% free. It costs this much for shipping. This is why it costs shipping. This is why it's free. And, give that why, but break it down to why it's just a simple process. To make the payment, it's very easy. Hey, this is less than a pair of Jordans.
Oh,
this is
okay.
less than,
I get what he's saying. Okay, so yeah, let me go over that for sure.
Yeah.
So for me, I think I'll just break down one of the sales I used to do with ADT, and not all the time when you first get down, you've connected with them, you've connected value that your product has for them. Not all the time are they just gonna say yes, right? And you kind of have to perceive the same thing online, okay? You can't expect for them just to see, oh, they saw it, they're going to say yes right away. No. That's why breaking down those numbers so it becomes so relatable, but more importantly, it seems such a great deal is so important. So exactly for me, so one of the big numbers was $54.99. For only $54.99 a month, you don't pay for any of the equipment. I'm even going to waive, right, 0, and I would draw a big 0 for installation, right? And activation is normally $150, and you know what? I'm going to waive that too for you, okay? But what I want you to understand here is that you have a daughter, you have a son, and Dad, you told me that you're not always here, and I get it. I get it. If you just lived in this beautiful house by yourself, you're a tough guy, man. You don't need it. And I know when you're here, you can take care of them. But that's all human connection. You see that? But when you're away, who's taking care of them? So only for $2 a day, you can have a little bit more peace at heart. That's priceless. Less than a cup of coffee. Less than that Snickers bar you get at lunch. Less than that McDonald's burger that you got yesterday. Yeah. Right?
So,
let me ask you a question. You're saying that you can't afford it. You're telling me you can't have less than a coffee. You can't cut down on a coffee a day to protect your kids. Come on. You see that?
Pretty much what the point is, you can take that same lesson and take it online. You want to simplify the numbers. You want to make it make the most sense. If it's only $20, here another way you can do it is you can find a higher price point. I forgot the exact terminology for it, but what you do is compare it to something that's a higher price. Yes. Like it could be the same product. Notebooks like these are usually $17 at the store. Right now, right here, this deal, you're getting it for $11, and it's exclusive, limited edition. That design, there's only 10 made, and that's how you market. That's how you're comparing it to a higher price point. So first of all, when you're lowering it, that automatically creates exclusivity. People want good deals. If you tell somebody like you can get some Gucci shoes for $100, they're buying it, even though it's still $100 shoes, which is expensive as hell. But in their mind, Gucci shoes are valued at $500, $700. So when your price is lower than their perceived value, they're gonna buy it. They're gonna buy it. And to compare it again, really moving forward, another way you can do it is compare your product to competitors. It doesn't have to always be the same product. Compare it to competitors. So you're simplifying your price point, you're comparing your price point, and then you're creating a common enemy. So look, so you want to break down the price to the lowest number. It needs to make the most sense. But after that, what you want to do is you want to create the common enemy. What does that mean? You need to compare your product to a competitor's product and why your product makes sense. So this is all psychology. So I gave you guys the Gucci example. A Gucci pairs are $500, but you're selling them for $100. Their perceived value is $500, but you're selling it as $100. Even though it's still expensive, it seems like a very good deal. So I saw this one product and they're selling it. It was like something that whitens your teeth, right? So everybody wants white teeth. Everybody wants white teeth. But who helps you get white teeth? Dentists. That cost thousands of dollars. Thousands of dollars. Nobody wants to pay thousands of dollars. People freaking hate the dentist. I hate the dentist. I don't want people drilling around my teeth, right? So you're selling a product that helps people whiten your teeth. Now you're creating that common enemy, and you're using this to leverage against your competitors. You don't have to talk crap against your competitors, but hey, stop spending $2,000 at the dentist. Stop buying these $1,000 machines that are supposed to whiten your teeth. Stop listening to these commercials that are selling you on this, crazy process that you need to do over 10 weeks every day, and then you need to follow up every few months to get your teeth whitened. Just buy this product right here. It's $2,000 cheaper than our average competitor. It's simple and easy. It takes 2 minutes a day. You do it for 4 weeks straight, and you're gonna see progress. whoa, that's, bro, you know what you just do when you do that? People, you created, so like, in their mind, they're like, hey, this guy doesn't like the dentist. I don't like the dentist either. The dentist charges me $2,000. This guy doesn't want to charge me $2,000. The dentist and this machine has this complicated process. This guy is selling it simple, easy process. He simplified it down to the T. Only takes me 2 minutes a day. I'm spending a fraction of what it costs, and I don't like the dentist, and he doesn't like the dentist again. You're creating that common enemy, and that builds your trust. That creates a reason for them to buy into your product. So I know we're giving you guys a lot of examples, a lot of advice, a lot of psychological like biases and stuff like that. But the thing is, when you guys can learn how to use all of these together, that's when you make money. When you understand how the human brain works, that's how you make money. And this is the reason why 99% of people will buy a course, you know, watch some YouTube videos and still won't make money. People, I get it every day. Josh, Shopify sucks. Josh, e-commerce sucks. Josh, I can't make money online. You know, I've done everything that they said I was supposed to do. That's why you suck, because you did everything that they said you're supposed to do. The people who said what you're supposed to do, they probably don't even know this. They, like I said in my X-commerce video before, we'll link it in the description. A lot of people, I'm not saying everybody, but a lot of people got not necessarily lucky, but they had one product that worked for them, one time, one ad campaign, maybe worked for 1 month, you know, with one strategy, at the right timing, that one timing, and then they want to give you this information. And it might not work for you because it might be outdated. It might be a different product. It might be in a different niche. Whatever it is, it might not work because they're not. Most people don't tell you they're winning products anyways. So you're lost now because you're trying to use the same one strategy that worked for one product on your product that's not the same one. So it won't work. And they might have got lucky, or maybe somebody told them, but maybe they use these, you know, techniques that we're teaching you right now, which that's what led them to making money. Not their way they set up their ads, that's obviously important. Not the way their pictures look, that's obviously important. But the way they marketed it, the way they had their customers feeling that they needed the product. And they don't tell you that. They tell you how they set up their ads. They tell you how they took a picture. They tell you how they built an account. And so you do all of that and you still don't make money because you don't know this. So it's very important that you guys know this, and make sure you stick to the end of this video. And if you're watching this on YouTube and you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe, because I'm going to be releasing and giving you guys all this information over the next few months for free. One of the next things you guys got to do is really get creative with your visual marketing. You want to create curiosity. Not just like your visual marketing, but your copyright. If you guys don't know what copyright means, it means the text, you know, how you type something for your ad. You want to grab people's attention right away. So what I like to do is I like to start things with a question. Do you know why this hasn't happened? You know, did you know that this happened? You know, you want to create curiosity. You want people to be like, because the reality is you have a few seconds, just a few seconds when somebody sees your ad where they decide if they're going to look more into it and click on your link, and if maybe buy your product. You know, it's a funnel. So 10,000 people might see your ad right here, right? You might catch 7,000 people's attention. Out of that 7,000, 5,000 people might actually click on the link. Out of that 5,000, maybe 1,000 people might buy it. So you have this funnel. You want to make your job easier to increase your you know, leads into sales and increase your conversions. Is you need that people who become curious and actually click on your link to be the highest percentage possible. So how you do that? You create curiosity. So you need something to grab them and hook them right away. So whether it's your copyright, you know, hooking them with a question, putting pain inside of them. So let's say, for example, I hook somebody with an ad. You know, are you tired of your skin being bad? Are you tired of your skin breaking out? Right? Now somebody who has that issue is going to click on it because they want to learn more. Somebody who doesn't have that issue, right? They might not really think any of it, but they might be like, hey, are you tired of your skin breaking out? Not really. I didn't really notice it, right? They keep on going. In their subconscious mind now, they're thinking about it. So now they might start, friends might be talking about themselves breaking out, whatever it is. They might have never ever listened to their friends really talk about it or really taking it in. Now, as part of the subconscious mind, they're like, like they hear their friend talking about breaking out a few days later, and they're like, whoa, all of a sudden things start popping up, you know, people talking about bad skin. You know, why all of a sudden am I hearing about it? Now they train their mind to think that it was some sort of overnight coincidence. Then the second part of the equation is now they start, you know, thinking that every time they hear about it after, it's just confirming that they need to know about it. So now next thing you know, they have a freaking pimple. Holy crap, I have bad skin, right? And now they're thinking back to that original ad. So this is where it's very important for you to have a very catchy headline. This is where branding comes into play. Like I said, and this is novelty as well. People want to learn about something new. Your product should sound like something new. It shouldn't sound like every other face mask on the market if you're selling a black face mask. Because if it does, they might just go back on Google once they start seeing bad skin and search black face mask. And they're going to buy the first one that pops up. But it's all because they first saw it from your ad. But let's say your ad says the world's best, facial protection for millennials, right? You guys get the point. Now, what they might do is when they have that issue, they're gonna start thinking like, hey, I have facial issues. Well, what was that one ad that caught my attention? The world's best facial, help or whatever it is. The world's best facial powder or mask or whatever it is. And if they search that term on Google, if your SEO is ranked right, maybe that's something you might learn in a course or something. That's an actual step you might learn, not the psychology. But if you have your marketing done right and they search that on Google, your site should pop up. And whose product are they going to buy when they need help? They're going to buy your product because you caught them with something that seems brand new and very catchy compared to just everything else on the market. Which takes me back to, so this is why you need to create curiosity. And once you create that curiosity and bring them in, you need to hook them in again with something catchy, with something that seems brand new, something that the market has never seen before. And that goes for copyright. But what if you're doing a picture or a video ad? This is where you gotta get creative. Everybody posts these whack freaking picture ads. It's just a white background with the product and it says on sale or free. That screams off in my head. My radar goes off. You suck at marketing. You suck at marketing. This is, obviously a drop shipping store. This is obviously high profit margins. This is not a good product. This is probably a cheap product. That's what goes through my mind when I see that. But let's say it's a super dope. I don't know if you guys follow me on social media. I have graphic designers who make super exclusive content for my page, animations to edit and stuff like that. But what does this do? It establishes me as an authority figure, and it creates a lot more curiosity than if it was just me self-promoting myself, because you can only self-promote yourself for so long, which is why it's very important to have your brand. So let's say you have a super dope video ad. Let's say your ad catches somebody's attention with a meme or a skit. Now they're a lot more intrigued to want to watch what you're selling and look at what you're selling because your product caught their attention. It's not just some whack little photo. What's gonna get more sales? A picture of a white background with a hat for sale, or a picture of maybe you like Donald Trump wearing a hat. Maybe you like Jake Paul wearing a hat, promoting it, and obviously that goes back to influencer styles as well. But I'm not talking about that right now. But what they're seeing is, if it's like a video of them wearing it, is they're seeing something that creates their attention because that person is somebody that's gonna get their curiosity. And that goes into, again, when I talk about authority, a great way to do it is by getting people with some sort of online recognition or in-person recognition to wear or promote your product. So it doesn't always have to be a shout out. But dude, if I were you, if you're selling hats or you're selling shirts or if you're selling fidget spinners, send it out to freaking people with influence for free. Just ask them to send you a photo back. Pay them to do it if you have to. But when you have that, if you imagine if you're selling some chain, like let's say you're selling jewelry online, and you get a picture of Chris Brown wearing your chain, and you're marketing people that like Chris Brown, they're gonna buy it because your product now has authority. Your product looks legitimate. Your product makes sense for them to buy. They trust it now because it's a trusted figure, which is why it's very important too. On your site, you should have all your social media connected to your site, because not even just for the social media part, but just those logos on your site, the social media logos, establishes credibility. To say Facebook is a trusted brand, Instagram is a trusted brand, Twitter is a trusted brand. They have these social media platforms. I see it on the site. It subconsciously creates more trust in your brand. This is why you see entrepreneurs, they'll post on their page, I was featured in Forbes, I was featured in Huffington Post, I was featured on the news, because that creates trust. Like, hey, he obviously done something. It is obviously a reason why that happened. So if you're using this with your e-commerce store, and maybe your e-commerce store got, if you really want to take it up a notch, and you actually created a brand for your e-commerce store, maybe you pay for some PR and you get your e-commerce store put into major publications. That increases your authority 10,000 times. You're getting a lot more likely to land a lot more sales. So another thing you might want to do, this is what Sunny Coat Clothing did, I referenced them earlier, is they build anticipation. So let's say you have a brand new launch. People love that feeling of not being able to get something right away when they want it. So if you can build anticipation, let's say you want to launch your store within 2 weeks. Build up your social media, start running traffic to your social media, whether you're using X-Commerce. We're going to have a bunch of softwares for you guys to do that. Nobody else has any softwares like this for dropshipping or e-commerce out on the market, which is pretty cool. But we're going to allow you guys to have these softwares where you can build anticipation towards your store. So because another reason Sunny Coat Clothing was so successful, why they went from 7,000 to 700,000 followers overnight, was because the product wasn't readily available for people to buy. So people were like, they wanted it a lot more, because if it was available, then it's not a big deal. Anybody can get it. But they created scarcity, they built anticipation. So the second they opened up that product, the second they released that discount code, boom, 50,000 orders within a few minutes. Because people were waiting, people were excited, people wanted to be the first ones to get it. This is why iPhone, every single year, accidentally has a leak from an employee, from somebody in China. Somebody accidentally leaks their iPhone model and what it looks like. It's not an accident that it happened like the last 8 years in a row. They're doing this purposely to create hype, to create anticipation. Then they have their keynote. Then they pitch everybody on the idea of an iPhone. Everybody gets hype again. Then you can't even pre-order until a few weeks later. Now people are like, that time between they first see it and the time it gets officially released and then the time they can actually get it, the entire time they want it more and more and more. So, you know, this is what you do when you're launching a new product, when you're launching a new store. It might not be as relevant for your current products, but if you're launching something new, this is definitely, you know, a very, very good strategy to use. So another thing that you can do is build a community. So let's say, you know, this is a little bit different than dropshipping. The best way I say you can do this for dropshipping e-commerce to build a community is build a niche page. If you're selling a niche product, let's say you're selling, for example, fidget spinners. Build a super, super cool page. I think actually one of the fidget spinners did it, which is why they did so successful, was all the content on the pages wasn't just pictures of fidget spinners saying, go buy it, you know, limited edition, go get it now. All their content on their Instagram page where they're promoting their dropshipping business was, you know, people doing tricks with the fidget spinners. You know, they would have challenges, challenging people to do certain tricks, challenging people to do something new, send in submissions. And people would comment and tag their friends. People would say, hey, we should try this trick. People would be a lot more interested in their following the page. Now they're not. If you sell too much, if you promote too much on your page, people are going to unfollow. So people were following this page because it felt like a community. They felt this was a place that they can share the cool things they did with their fidget spinners. So they created a community. A lot of internet marketers do this when it comes to maybe selling informational product or service, or maybe it's an affiliate marketing opportunity. They build a Facebook page, they build an actual community, they build a network. This is why social media is so powerful, because it's a network of people, it's a community of people. So they built a community, this fidget spinner company, around their product, where it was very, very cool to send in your submission. It's very cool to get featured. This is where it comes down to. You know, if somebody buys your product, shout them out, because it gets cool to be featured by this community. So now somebody sees it, hey, this guy just did a super cool trick. Somebody's gonna be like, well, I wanna do that, so I gotta buy the product so I can do it, so I can get featured. So build a community around your niche page. You know, whether it's, you know, cool videos, cool pictures, whatever it is, you wanna build that community. You know, and then one of the next things would be, when it comes to building a successful e-commerce business, again, just so you guys know, everything I'm talking about right now is based off psychology. This is, like I said, you can't learn this anywhere else. You can't learn this in a course. A course is not going to teach you this. Most courses don't even really show you what's the best product, how to find a product. You know, they kind of leave you on your own, and then you have to figure out the best marketing for your product. So this is why you need to know this information so you can get that down, okay? And again, if you're watching this, you're brand new to watching me, you haven't seen this before, I'm going to put a link in the YouTube description that gives you all the information about X-Commerce, which is a software to help you make more sales with dropshipping, how to find influencers, have all the training that you need, all the psychology behind it, all the marketing, everything that you haven't seen before. You know, it's not a course. It's not somebody just trying to sell you on information. It's going to be a platform, and it's actually free to start because for me, as a business owner, I value your trust a lot more to be a long-term customer than you buying something, one time and not becoming a returning customer. And that's just honest. If you go watch the video in the description, you'll see. And I'm gonna be uploading a lot more, so make sure you subscribe, comment, let me know what other videos you guys want to see. Because I like to get into I like to teach you guys the stuff that most people won't teach you, because that's the stuff that will actually take you to the next level. That's the reason why you might have watched hundreds of dropshipping videos on YouTube and still not be making the income you want. This is the reason why, and I want to kind of change that. So another cool thing is market off of trends. So there's a lot of good things, powerful things you can do with this. I made a post the other day. It was a funny meme talking about making money online, and I was relating to a current event that's happening, Hurricane Irma. So a lot of people, I noticed, not a lot of people actually, a lot of people weren't actually like sad about Hurricane Irma. They weren't actually coming up with excuses. They weren't actually being negative. They were being positive. They're trying to look for the good outcome in the situation. So what did I do? I saw a funny video that was going viral, and I remade the video and added something that was relevant to my products, my business, my following, that was valuable to my following, and I made a meme out of that viral video that related to the current event, and that allowed that video to get a lot of attention. So again, if you're selling, here's a good example. If you guys know who Grant Cardone is, real estate mogul, killing it, also sells a lot of products online. What did he do? He made an ad saying 90% off, hurricane sale, everything has to go. And in the ad, like, things were blowing away, and he's like, I gotta get it, I gotta sell everything before it disappears because of the hurricane, since he was located in Florida. That's marketing off of the trend. I guarantee you he made a crap ton of sales, using that marketing. So market off current events, things that resonate with people, things that will make people remember and relate to your product a lot more, and it doesn't just have to be events, but it can be important people. It can be a famous, that Cash Me Outside chick. A lot of people, a lot of influencers reached out to her after her video went viral. Why? Because at that time she was relevant. So you want to market your products in terms of things that are relevant, because if somebody already saw the thing that you're marketing towards, if somebody already knows about the hurricane, that's something that's familiar. So now you're marketing your product with something that's already familiar with them. It makes more sense. Ask yourself this question: would you rather buy something from somebody or something that you feel connected to and already know about, or something that's you never heard of and it's confusing to you? If you appeal to that, people are more likely and more inclined to buy because in their mind it's already familiar. It already makes sense for them. So the last two things I want to cover up. This one's a no-brainer. If you're not doing this one right now, I feel sorry for you. But create scarcity. I kind of talked about it earlier, but your product needs to seem very exclusive, very limited, whether it's a different supply, whether, for example, Gucci and Louis Vuitton. Why is their product so scarce? Because the products they sold last summer are not available this summer. So they're able to increase the prices because they know you're not going to be able to get that product next year. So they release a new season every time. So maybe you have your own brand and you want to sell products. Create new products that are very limited so people can't get the old products. A lot of the tools people use is, people going to check out with the e-commerce store and they'll say, hey, you better hurry up. There's only 3 minutes left to lock in your spot. There's only 7 products left. You're creating scarcity. Somebody's like, holy shit, I better get this right now, because if I come back later today, because I want to think about it, it might be gone. So create scarcity. That's kind of a no-brainer. The last thing, very, very, I'm huge on it, is create controversy. Create controversy. Get people pissed off. Get people mad. Get people frustrated. Get people confused. People need to look at your stuff and say, what the hell is he doing? Why are they selling that? What is this video about? What is this ad about? You want people to talk about it. There's that phrase that goes, all publicity is good publicity. So if somebody watches your video, let's say you're running viral traffic, you're doing a viral video to promote your product, and it's a skit or something, and the skit makes no sense, and it offends half the people that watch it, but the other half think it's very funny and they relate to it. You might be like, oh, well, that's bad because half the people don't like it. Who cares if the half of the people don't like it? Because you're extremely laser targeting the half that do like it. So you're creating controversy. The reality is that controversy is going to drive more traffic because people are going to be tagging their friends. Hey, look at this. What the hell is this? People are going to show people. You're a lot more likely to go viral, a lot more likely to get more sales if you're creating controversy, which is why you see YouTubers beefing and causing problems with other YouTubers because they know that drives more traffic. So at the end of the day, I'm starting to lose my voice from talking so long. At the end of the day, if you want to create more sales, if you want to make more money, and your e-commerce store is not working, you need to pretty much create controversy and to drive traffic. Sales online is traffic. It's a numbers game. They always say it's a numbers game, but the numbers game can go in your favor. It can go in your odds. It doesn't always have to be on the lower end of size. I see people run and spend hundreds of bucks a day and make no sales, and that's because they don't have these fundamentals I just taught you. I don't know how much it was, 10, 12, whatever it is, but they don't learn these fundamentals, so they get lost, they get confused, and it's because nobody teaches you. I feel sorry because nobody teaches you, so it's not your fault. You don't know what you don't know. Using these tools right now, and I'll probably do multiple videos in the future. Actually, I will. I'll do multiple videos in the future going into more detail, giving you guys actual real life examples of each of these principles. Just comment below, or do these few things. Subscribe to my channel so you obviously know when I post a video. 2, comment below which ones you guys want to learn more about so you can utilize for your store. And then 3, message me on Instagram and Snapchat. My Instagram is at JetSetFly. My Instagram is, Instagram is JetSetFly, and my Snapchat is Josh King Madrid. Message me and let me know. That's where I spend most of my time. What you guys want to see more of, and I can release more videos. Really give you guys more information on this because, like I said, you don't know what you don't know, and this can be the reason. This is the number one reason, honestly, that your store might not be doing as well as it's been doing because you gotta learn this stuff. You gotta go to college for psychology. You gotta read books on psychology. You gotta go to seminars, buy webinars on psychology, whatever it is. I did it all. Before I dropped out of college, I was in some of those classes. I did it all. I know psychology. I know marketing. And if you want to make sales, you want to be very good at marketing. So if you implement all these strategies I told you, you're going to be able to increase. Remember I told you guys about that funnel. You're going to be able to increase the amount of views into sales on your site. The biggest thing is conversions. Why would you spend 75 cents per click if you can spend 20 cents per click, and that every dollar you spend on average is generating you 20 bucks. So you need to know your numbers, and you want to have the highest numbers possible. So it needs to look legit. At the end of the day, you need to ask yourself, would I buy this? Don't spend your money. Don't waste your money. Don't test ads on stuff that you're not positive you would buy. And then I guess another tip to wrap it up is always test. A lot of people want to go for the home run right away. They want to drop, crazy money on a shout out. That's shitty. They haven't tested it yet. They haven't, the reality is, so look, if you really want to get results, if you're marketing one product, you should be running minimum at least 5 different types of marketing on this product. So 5 different captions, 5 different reasonings, 5 different pictures, 5 different copyrights, the text that explains why you're selling it and what you're selling, 5 different videos, all right? And you want to test all of them. And then you also want to test them on 5 different types of channels. So if you're specifically, I'm talking about Instagram. So before you go run a shout out on 1,000 or 1 million followers, run a shout out on 5 pages with 50,000 followers. Because I'll tell you what, we've made money before on pages with 50,000 followers, 20,000 followers, and I spent 20 bucks on a shout out, 20 bucks, and made $2 grand, $3 grand. Why? Well, one reason is because these pages are not as saturated when it comes to shout outs. And 2, a lot of big pages might have a fake following, so these smaller following pages are a lot more authentic, a lot more a real following, and they haven't seen these shout outs they're not getting paid to do shout outs every single day. So your offer is very exclusive, it's very brand new, it's something they've never seen before. Like I said, novelty, it needs to be something new. So start very small. Once you figure out, out of those 5 different ads, those 5 different pages, what's converting best, then scale that one ad, scale that 2 ads, whatever one is doing the best, scale it on a larger scale. 250,000 followers. It does good again. Scale it again. Then do 1 million followers. Because the reason I'm saying this because it's going to cost you a lot more money for a bigger page than it is on a smaller page. And if you can make 2,000 bucks off 20 bucks, why would you go to a big page and make 500 bucks off 200 bucks? So you want to know your numbers, and you want to start small. You want to scale. Don't get too excited. Everybody thinks they can become a millionaire overnight because they see people making 6-7 figures a month in Shopify. You got to take your time and learn the things that actually work to actually build your business instead of just getting excited and following the step-by-step system that people give you. Some of it works, but if they don't teach you this, you're not really going to be successful. So yeah, if you're watching this right now and you haven't got started dropshipping yet, there's going to be a link in the description, shopify.co. That's going to be a free trial actually for you to sign up for Shopify, and you can actually start building your store today. So go ahead, click the link in the description, get started with Shopify, 100% free. You don't need a credit card, you don't need a debit card. You will need to pay $29 a month if you want to actually start making sales, but you can build your store, you can experiment, you can get the idea of what I talked about in this video and practice that on your store. Maybe you already made a store and it's failing, go ahead and start over. If your store is failing right now and you had a breakthrough, you realize in this video what you need to do right, go, start over, make a new store, and start fresh and market it the right way. I'm also going to put a link to our private Facebook group with almost 4,000 members now, where we teach, e-commerce completely free as well. And I'm going to put a link to my Telegram group, over 1,000 members, group chat, where people literally private message 24 hours a day. There's always somebody talking in there, helping people out to learn how to make money. We got people in there doing anywhere between $50, $100 a month to $17,000 a day, $20,000 a day. And all of that too is we're launching X-Commerce soon. I'll put the link to the YouTube video talking about X-Commerce. And before you start dropshipping, before you start making sales, you need to watch this video. It's very important you watch this video. It may be the life-changing video for your internet e-commerce career. So watch that video I put in the description, because that video is going to be a game changer. There's nobody that's done this. Everybody wants to sell you on this course. And like I said, yes, I want your business long term. I want you guys to feel value from my brand, but also I want to melt you guys' faces off of value and tell you guys the things that people won't tell you and actually help you make money, because I know that's where you become great. And then, it's like that quote says, everybody's heard it before, your value directly correlates with the amount, your income directly correlates with the value you provide to others. So, that's very, very important when it comes to building your brand. And the whole goal, to recap what I talked about in this video, is you need to learn psychology. You need to learn these marketing tools to lower your potential customers' risk aversion of buying your product. Nobody wants to buy something from somebody that have no idea who they are and never heard of. And their risk aversion is very, very high at first. So your job, using all these techniques that I just taught you and that Ricky taught you, is to lower their risk aversion. And when you lower their risk aversion and you get them closer from point A to point Z, then they're going to want to buy your product. Then you're going to make sales. Then you can hit big months. Then you can, profit for pennies on the dollar. And that's the whole goal, because like I said, you can follow these steps, but that these gurus teach you, but you'll never make money unless you learn this. So I hope you found this video valuable. If you did, like I said, subscribe to my channel, connect with me on Instagram and Snapchat, and let me know what you want to see, what topics and more in depth, and what real life case studies and examples you want to see. And make sure you join that Facebook group, the free Facebook group, because that's going to be a game changer. Everybody in there is helping people make money. So if you really are serious about making money, you'll join. If you're not serious, you probably just wasted your time watching this video. The Telegram group, and if you haven't got started with Shopify yet, or you want to start over, get that fresh start, and really just double down on these techniques and have a profitable store, I'll have all the links inside the description, and make sure you watch the other X-Commerce video as well. With that said, it is 3:50 a.m. I'm at Big Bear headquarters, we like to call it, my other place, and we're just grinding it out. So I'll catch you guys on the next video.
Thank you for listening to The Dropout Degree. If you enjoyed, please subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, SoundCloud, and YouTube at Josh King Madrid. And if you learned something new, please share this on your social media and leave a 5-star review. Want to connect more? Head to www.joshkingmadrid.com.